Hey, what's up you guys? Brian here, and today we're back in The Sims 4 with a Sandcastle speed build. So, this is going to be my second and final build of the summer, and I'm really sad to see these go, but I'm very excited to see what happens with my fall, winter, and spring themed builds eventually. I am trying to time these builds to be around the time that it's actually that season where I live, so currently we're about on the tail end of summer, and I just want to make sure that you guys know that these won't be coming out right after each other back to back. These are going to be more spaced out builds because the seasons do take a while to change, and I just want to go ahead and have them timed around the time of the season because I think that's kind of cool to build something that also correlates with real life. But I will be having other content coming out in between those builds, and I think my next video is actually going to be me creating my cat in Create a Sim because her birthday is actually around Labor Day, which is in a few weeks, and I just wanted to go ahead and do that. I think that'd be kind of cool to do something different than a speed build, and also I think it's kind of cool to share something that is more personal with you guys, which, you know, having a pet and all of that is very personal, and I kind of wanted to share with you guys some stories about her. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how I do that, and I just figured that'd be something different and fun to do. So, I wanted to give you guys an update on the situation last time. I told y'all that my mother was experiencing some health problems. She was dealing with some really bad insomnia, silent migraines, dizziness, kind of everything to deal with that. And unfortunately, we had to bring her to the ER earlier this month, and it was really scary. I ended up staying with her until about 4 in the morning, and we brought her at midnight, and they had to do all kind of tests and everything, but luckily she is fine now. I don't want you guys to worry too much, but I did want to tell you guys a little bit of a story that's related to this. So when we got to the hospital, you know, there's the nurses and the late night crew is kind of cleaning up the bathrooms and making sure everything is good for the next day, and they were amazing, and I thought that they were really great, and they were so welcoming, and they really just made us feel really comfortable at the hospital, especially whenever it's such a tense situation where you don't know what's going on medically. I really appreciate people like that, and if you are someone like that, or you know someone who works in that field and who really works really hard to make people feel comfortable when things are going on like that, tell them thank you. Or if you are that person, I want to personally thank you for your service. However, we didn't really have that great of an experience with the doctor that we were assigned, or that she was assigned actually. So he came across as very arrogant. He acted like he knew everything. He really didn't listen to her concerns, and he actually got very snippy and very rude with her. And keep in mind that she is very dizzy and just, you know, not in the right mental state. She's very uptight and nervous because she hadn't gotten sleep really prior to that, and she still kind of deals with a little bit of those issues off and on. She is very much better, and it's great to see her up and running again and not worrying about all that. But no, at the time it was really awful, and she didn't know what was going on, and that's really scary for me to see and for her to be living through it. But he was very rude to us, and he argued with us and basically made us feel like, I guess, less of people. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But he tried to argue with her, and for her insomnia, that was basically the only thing he said he could treat her for. He wanted to put her on some really harsh medication, and I think he actually wanted to put her on something that is classified as an antipsychotic, which if you go look that up on Google about insomnia and treating insomnia, you'll see that that's not really shown to be effective with that treatment. So yeah, and she very much expressed her concern because, you know, it does alter with your mental state, and it's really scary, and it's really scary when you're dealing with medication that can do that to you. So she expressed her concern. He kept arguing with her and basically told her that if she didn't want to take that medication, that he couldn't help her, and he basically gave us her papers and told us to get out of the hospital. So I ended up carrying my mother out of the hospital because she literally could not walk on her own. She was extremely dizzy. We got her home. She tried sleeping. She eventually did get to sleep, so she's fine now, but I really hated that situation, and I really feel like people who aren't getting paid as much, so the nurses and the cleaning staff and the technicians were so much nicer to us than the person who is making a lot of money, who is the doctor. And I thought that that was really a sad situation. And come to find out, when school started back on Monday, I finally got to reconnect with a lot of my friends who I haven't really seen over the summer. And one of my friends actually said that she was in the ER at one time, and she also had to deal with him, and he is not a good doctor. So it's not just my personal experience or my mother's personal experience. It's literally something that my friend has dealt with, and reading reviews about this doctor online, he really only has about an average of 2.5 out of 5, which is absolutely not good. So I feel like people are sometimes afraid to speak out about situations like that, and I think that if we are more vocal about it and more demanding of being treated decently, that maybe one day we'll all be able to go into a hospital and not feel pressured to take things that we're uncomfortable with, and not feel pressured to say yes to everything, and also not feel pressured to question people and to question why things are. Yeah, I really didn't have a good experience with him, and as somebody who is dealing with a mother who is going through all of that, I get very defensive, and I really had to bite my tongue to not, get very verbal with this person. So, yeah. Anyway, so like I was saying, we're done with this story. I just want you guys to know that she is all better, and I really appreciate the nice comment that I got last week. It really means a lot to me. So but to another story dealing with someone who is also arrogant. So I told you guys that school started, and it actually started last Monday on the 20th. And I am actually, on a positive note, I'm feeling very, very comfortable with the way my life is going and how everything is and my outlook on life. And I'm so excited to finally be back in class and finally get on with getting my get on to getting my degree. God, am I still in high school? Some people make me feel like I'm still in high school, apparently. I'm going to get into that in a second. But I just wanted to say that right now I'm actually trying to get into a marketing major, and I'm really interested in the business aspect of it. And I also like that it ties in the graphic design and the PR portions, which are both things that I'm very much interested in. And actually, I wanted to go ahead and let you guys know that one of my big inspirations for doing this was actually watching Shane Dawson's series that he did with Jeffree Star. That came out about the week before college started, and I thought it was so cool to see the life of somebody that, I think is very much misunderstood, and you get to see the behind the scenes and really try to understand who that is and who that person really is behind the scenes. And Jeffree had actually talked about how he has a lot of business ventures that he has invested himself in, as well as real estate across the country. And I had never really thought about getting into real estate or business or anything like that, and I started researching things and looking into getting investment properties, and I'm actually very interested in that. So I'm currently trying to get into the marketing major, and I would like to take that in a real estate direction. I think that'd be very cool, and it definitely looks like something that I would be interested in. So I wanted to go ahead and thank Shane and Jeffree for inspiring me, as they really have a lot in the past. That's really cool, and I think that that's amazing that they're able to do that. So but yeah, so that's really all I wanted to say. I just wanted to give some credit where I feel like it's due, because I have been watching Shane for a long time, and I've also kind of dabbled in watching Jeffree Star, and I think that's really interesting that he runs so many companies and he's so entrepreneurial, and I think that's definitely something to admire and to look up to. So yeah, but I wanted to go into a little bit of the drama that I kind of dealt with. So I was involved in an English class. At the beginning of the semester, I had to sign up for whatever classes were available, so I signed up for 5, and I ended up dropping the English class because the workload and the content of the work was kind of conflicting with my public speaking class, and I wanted to make sure that I was focusing on that class, and I might take English next semester if I actually do need it. But there was this girl in my English class who was actually in my social problems class, which, you know, how convenient that somebody who has social problems is in the social problems class. But anyway, don't feel sad for her. She's not like socially anxious or anything. She is literally a rich girl who likes to hold that over people. So what happened last semester, I want to start there first. One of my friends was actually in a group with her for a project they did last semester. And it was a research project. I believe they were talking about poverty or a related issue like homelessness or something like that. And that is a very big issue in America, so obviously they're going to talk about it and they're going to research it. Well, this girl, who is the wealthy girl, decided that the issues of the people who were involved in this project weren't genuine, and she basically disregarded anybody who deals with these issues. And from what I understand, she made a lot of enemies in the group. And I never really had any issues with her last semester. I didn't deal with her. If I saw her, like, I acknowledge you exist, but that's about it. Well, this semester, she was actually in my English class, or my former English class, because I'm not in it anymore. And I saw her waiting out in the hallway for the class, and I figured, oh, she's going to be in this class, you know. Oh, great, not her again. But we finally get into the class. The teacher shows up about 5 minutes late or so, and nobody was really able to access the syllabus where we have all of the books outlined that we actually need for the course. So only 2 people actually had it. I don't know how they were able to access the syllabus, but none of us had. So it was basically just 2 people. So it was her and the girl in front of her, and I was sitting behind both of them in the 3rd row back, since that was the only seat when I got in. And one of the other girls in the class had asked about, I think she was asking what book we needed and how much it cost, because she was worried about, you know, how her paycheck was going to fall. And the professor had asked the rich girl if she remembered how much she paid for the books, and she said in the most snarky tone ever that she doesn't remember how much she paid because she doesn't look at prices, which can't relate. But also, who says that? I literally, I can't fathom saying that to somebody and feeling good about myself. So yeah, that was just a little bit of the drama that I kind of dealt with, and I thought it'd be interesting to share on here, so that maybe if any of my viewers are like that, you can kind of try to see why you're problematic. So anyway, that's it, and we're finally at the end of this video. We are looking at the screenshots. I didn't do any of the interior yet. That might be something I do off camera and share it with you guys, but I hope you enjoyed this build. Let me know in the comments down below. Go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, guys.